And now, it's time for the first in a new series. Pele, was shy, Pele was shite, he was worse than Jason Lee.
Pele.
Pelé takes the corner. Pele.
The dead almost put into his own goal, and Pele missed an open goal.
Absolute rubbish,
yeah.
It's terrible. Still not worse than Jason Lee, though, really.
Pele, his real name, of course, was Edson Arantes de Excremento. Yeah. And football managers are still getting used to the idea of FIFA changing the size of the goals.
Oh. Oh. Well, this changes everything.
Yes, Mr. Clark?
Send him in, love. Just chuck it in the bin, lad, will you?
OK, boss. Sorry, boss, I'll just pick it up.
No, leave it, lad, leave it. This office hasn't been tidied since the last manager was here. Still, if you ever need any plain brown paper envelopes, just a shout. Anyway, no, I want to talk to you. I don't suppose you're very happy about your current form, right? And I know the supporters aren't very happy.
Aren't they? Why are they always laughing, then?
Anyway, look. Jason, there's going to be changes, lad, and there's going to be changes, and I think they're going to affect you.
Oh, come on, boss, you got to give us another chance. My first touch is really improving.
Hey, but what about your second touch?
Jason Lee gives him rid. He's got them stretched again. Although he needed
Well, don't forget I set up Stuart Pearce's goal on Saturday. And what about that 25-yard right against Malmo?
I missed.
Yeah, but, well, anyway, we're still in Europe.
Yeah, but the ball isn't. Look, Jason, let's face it, there's certain aspects of your game that could do with a little bit of work. Cheer up, Jason. Great news.
Fantastic, boss. I wonder what the new goals will be like.
Well, if FIFA listen to my advice, they'll look something like this.
I like Forrest, I must admit. I read Brian Clough's autobiography. Have you read this?
It actually looked like you've touched it, Frank.
Yeah.
Not exactly. You have someone to hold it for you.
Yeah, I read it very carefully.
He would have been a great manager of England, wouldn't he?
Brian Clough?
He would have been a great man if they caught him at the right time.
I think they did catch him eventually.
Anyway, he writes a fantastic bit here about Frank Clark, and I never knew this about Frank Clark, and this is actually from the book. I knew Frank could play football. What I didn't know when I signed him was that he could play the guitar. I can still see Frank Clark sitting at the back of the team coach, strumming away, singing in a lovely soft voice, with his teammates gathered round and joining in. Country or middle of the road or whatever they called it, I was never quite sure. Clark and his guitar entertained us, not only throughout the country, but across Europe.
That's me.
A lovely image, that is, of Frank Clark.
Actually, we have got a clip of Frank Clark singing.
Which side are you on? 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 Now, as you know, we get a lot of letters to this show, and by glory, we love to read them. And we had a letter this week from a bloke called, is that Rod Munchie?
Yeah, that's him.
Yeah, from Rod Munchie. I'm sure that's not right.
Not right.
And he watched the programme a couple of weeks ago when we had a series called Pele was shite, which you might have seen. And if you remember, the song went, Pele was shite, Pele was shite. He was worse than Jason Lee. And Rod Munchie didn't like that at all. He's a Notts Forest fan, and he said, I hope you will refrain from making any jokes at Jason's expense in the future. Now, unfortunately, we got this after last week's show, when there were one or two jokes after his
From
expense.
now on, we will pledge never to make another Jason Lee joke just for Rod.
Never, ever again. Pledge, Stato, never another Jason Lee joke?
Never another Jason Lee joke.
Yeah, beautifully said.
Yeah, well done, Stato.
That'll be good company. I think I know this is going to be, but we'll see. All right, Jeff. You didn't get the pledge, did you, about the Jason Lee?
No, I wouldn't do it, mate.
Fair enough. Jeff Astor, ladies and gentlemen.
He used to give me roses, I wished he would again, but that was on the outside, and things were different then. On the inside the sun still shines, and the rain falling down, but the sun and rain are prisoners too, when morning comes around. I dream we were together, sharing all the love we've known, till I had to face the nightmare of waking up alone. On the inside the roses grow, they don't mind the stormy ground, but the roses they are prisoners too, when morning comes around.
And so we thought we'd have a look round the world of art, which we don't do very often.
No, we don't.
And see if we could find any other footballers. And apparently, around 1500, in Nigeria, I think the Nigerian nation of Benin, they had Jason Lee playing for them. There he is.
He hadn't developed the pineapple then so much, had he? It was more of a courgette.
Yeah, but he was getting there.
I'll tell you, I wouldn't mind seeing this Toy Story film. It looks really good.
Never mind that. What about this? Frank Clark's been slagging us off for having a go at Jason Lee.
Well, I think we should go straight to Nottingham and apologise.
Yeah, we must do. Oh, how terrible.
Mr. Clark! Mr. Clark!
Now listen, Jason, take no notice. They're just middle-class white boys slagging us off and thinking they're intellectual because bloody football's become fashionable.
What do you mean?
Well, I don't know. Anyway, don't worry, they're always slagging somebody off.
So it's not true then about you having talks with West Ham about one of their strikers?
Oh no, lad, it's just paper talk.
Mr. Clark! Mr. Clark! I've come for our meeting! What's Ian Dowie doing here?
No. Don't panic, Jason. I'm just calling together all the people who've been slagged off on Fantasy League.
Ah, hello, Mr. Ball. How are things at Manchester City?
You what? He's not turning up. I must phone Sunderland straight away. Peter Reid speaking. Peter, get down here, man. Oh, look, I can't hang about now. A Man United player has turned up.
Which one?
Well, any one of about 5, actually. Where's Eric? Where's Eric? Au revoir. Oh my God, my bloody moustache has fallen off. Oh, these Nottingham winters are bloody killing me. I hope I'm smiling. Can't be right. There you go, lad. Now I call this meeting to order. Now look, they're always slagging someone off on this programme as completely unfair and unjustifiable. Here. Who said that?
What was that?
Who are you? Vinny Samwise. Well, when did they slag you off? On their World Cup summer special. They said when Everton paid 2.2 million for me, it was a waste of money.
And it's not just footballers they slag off, it's boxers as well. That's why I didn't turn up last week.
I didn't know there was a Prince Nassim toy.
What do you mean, toy? Look, boss, everybody.
Oh, bless you.
The fact is...
Oh, God, you got a
stop
cold,
it,
Alan.
Mr. Bull. The fact is that being slagged off on fantasy league's been harmful to all our careers.
Hold it. Hold it, you lot. Now look. It's all very well what you're saying, but I've been praised to bloody high heaven on Fantasy League.
I love Matthew Tissier.
Like all great players, his is a nonchalant grace. I'm sort of obsessed with Matthew Tissier. I think he's absolutely brilliant.
And now look at me. I'm shit.
Yeah, staggering fall from Box.
Because you have got Jason Lee, and some people, we did refer to this a couple of weeks ago, but Frank Clark has been slagging us off for having a go at Jason Lee.
Oh, yeah.
No, he has. Fair, he called us middle-class wide boys.
Did he?
Yeah. And
Yeah, good for Frank. Yeah.
Frank was overjoyed to be called middle-class.
Go on, please. Hey? Things are looking up, aren't they?
Middle-class bloody wide boys.
You can't deny the wide boy aspect myself.
Did he get you back on the telly the other day, sort of? Did this for this?
Well, funnily enough, here's a clip of Jason's story the other week, and if you watch him afterwards, I think he might be trying to tell us something. Do you think Jason's got better recently? Because we think he has.
Yeah.
We think he's...
No, seriously, we did.
Interesting distinction.
We actually,
When you stop beating your wife, it's one of those, isn't it?
No, we wrote him a letter actually, didn't we? We did, yeah. We said, dear Jason.
Yeah.
Come on.
Yeah.
We said, come on.
And we have, and he hasn't sent us one back. Apparently he tried to, but he couldn't quite get it in the mailbox.
Yeah. Style.
But I feel this. We try and pick like clips for this show. We saw this one clip, and for a second, this is true. We actually thought that Frank Clark had a Jason Lee haircut, right? But unfortunately, we realised it was a mistake. But look, it was so close. Look.
Oh, brilliant. That is brilliant, whoever found that.
Anyway, as you know, we vowed on the show that we wouldn't do any more Jason Lee jokes. In fact, we saw Stuart Pearce and Steve Stone, didn't we?
We did.
The weekend, and they said that Jason's going to knock our head in.
Yeah.
So,
because if we knocked his head in, we'd spoil that haircut, so that'd be terrible.
Yeah, but we wouldn't knock his head in because I imagine he's quite hard.
Yeah.
And we are a pair of tossers when all said and done. And a bloke wrote us a letter here called Brian Newcomb from Morden. He wrote a letter and he said, Dear Frank and Dave, the Jason Lee gags have been going on too long now.
Fair enough.
And I think it's time you laid them to rest. And we agree with that, right?
Yeah.
But then he goes on to say, as you see, there is plenty of room for them in the Jason Lee family cemetery. We'd like to stop doing the jokes, but people keep writing in letters, don't they?
Very good.
Very.
Anyway, we had a lot of ridiculous lookalikes sent in received.
Stupid lookalikes.
Really stupid ones. Paul and Mac from King's Lynn sent in this one of Jason Lee.